Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I just want to start today's video by saying thank you to all of those people who sent me get well soon messages over on Twitter. All I had was a really bad cold, it was nothing serious, but thank you so much for all of your messages still. I am feeling much better now. I do have a little bit of sinus pain still and I do feel a little bit nasally, but other than that I'm feeling good. Today I have another Janay Recommends video, which is part of a series that I started last year. Well, I don't know if you can actually call it a series when I've only done one video before this one that's part of it, but if you haven't seen that then I will leave a link in the description box for you. Basically, in these recommendation videos I'm going to be telling you about 5 books that I have read and really enjoyed and just want to share with you. So let's get started with my first book recommendation. The first book I want to talk to you about is Love, Hate and Other Filters by Samira Ahmed. Maya Aziz dreams about kissing boys and going to film school in New York, but miles away an unknown danger looms. A terrorist attack in another city unleashes fear and hate on Maya's small town, changing her life and disrupting her future. A stunning debut novel that celebrates the power of personal choice in a world that wants to put labels on us all. This book was sent to me for review by Readers First, so thank you so much to them for that, but that in no way sways my opinion of this. For me, the importance of this book is right up there with The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, because this is so relevant and I think it's something that everyone needs to read about. I just think that the topic of this book is so raw and realistic and current. It's just something that I really think that everyone needs to read about. I found that I really connected with the main character of Maya as well. I thought it was really well written and I just highly recommend this. The next book I want to recommend is Charlotte Says by Alex Bell. Tormented by memories of the fire that destroyed her home, Jemima flees to the remote Isle of Skye. But her role as assistant mistress at Dunvegan School for Girls is far from the fresh start she so desperately needs. Then Jemima receives a box of dolls from a mystery sender, and so the game begins. I'm not going to talk about this book in too much detail in this video because I do have a whole video dedicated to this one where I reviewed it, so I'll leave a link for that in the description box, but just know that I am not a fan of horror books. I don't like anything even remotely scary, and this was absolutely incredible. I loved it. Very scary, but I still really enjoyed reading this. Also, if you didn't know, this book is actually a prequel to Frozen Charlotte by Alex Bell. So although I actually read them the other way round, I read Frozen Charlotte first and then read this because that's the order that they were published. You can read this one first now and then read Frozen Charlotte afterwards. And if you do watch my review video for this book, then you may notice in that video that I'm holding the uncorrected proof copy. This one is a finished copy. The reason I have an uncorrected proof copy in that one is that I was sent it by the publishers. Again, thank you so much to Stripes for that, but I am in no way swayed by the fact that I was sent it. It was an honest review. The reason I have this one now is because I went to a Stripes event last month and I managed to pick up a finished copy. Sorry if the angle of the camera has just changed. As I went to pick up the next book, I've just kicked the tripod and I've moved the camera now, so apologies for that. The next book I want to recommend to you is Sleepless in Manhattan by Sarah Morgan. Do you know what, I've just realised so far all of the books that I've shown you are pink. I promise you not all of the books are pink, although the next one has got pink on it. One of the books is not pink. Cool, calm and competent events planner Paige Walker loves a challenge. When she loses the job she loves, Paige must face her biggest challenge of all, going it alone. Except launching her own events company is nothing compared to hiding her crush on Jake Romano, her brother's best friend, one of New York's most eligible bachelors, and the only man who's ever broken her heart. When Jake offers Paige's fledgling company a big chance, the ever-present chemistry between them starts giving her sleepless nights. But could Paige be the girl to make the man who trusts no one take a chance on forever? This is the first book in a series by Sarah Morgan where all of the books are set in New York, which I absolutely love, having been there twice. For me, books like this are almost a guilty pleasure because these are the kind of books that I will go to when I just want something really easy and romantic and fun to read. I also think that if you like reading YA romance and that you want something a little bit more grown up or you're making that transition into adult books, then I think this is a really good place to start. Next is a book by my favourite author, Cecilia Ahern, and this is Where Rainbows End, but in some places this book is known by the title Love, Rosie. Since childhood, Rosie and Alex have stuck by each other through thick and thin, but they're suddenly separated when Alex and his family move from Dublin to America. Rosie is lost without him. Then, just as she's about to join Alex in Boston, she gets life-changing news that will keep her at home in Ireland. Their magical connection remains, but can their friendship survive the years and miles as well as new relationships? And always at the back of Rosie's mind is whether they were meant to be more than just good friends all along. Misunderstandings, circumstances and sheer bad luck have kept them apart until now. But will they gamble everything, including their friendship, on true love? And what twists and surprises does fate have in store for them this time? I could waffle on about this book for absolutely ages because I just love Cecilia Ahern and everything she's written. This is right up there with one of my favourites and she's written quite a few books. I just loved the characters in this. I really connected with them when I first read it and you're just willing them to be together from the start. I also love the way this book is written because it's not just your standard novel format. It's written through emails and instant messages and letters and things like that, which I think makes for a really interesting read. This story contains a lot of ups and downs for the characters of Rosie and Alex, a along with a couple of big plot twists as well, but if you're looking for a really cute book that deals with friendship and romance, then I definitely recommend this. And the final book that I want to recommend to you today is History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. Griffin has lost his first love in a drowning accident. Theo was his best friend, his ex-boyfriend, and the one he believed he would end up with. Now, reeling from grief and worsening OCD, Griffin turns to an unexpected person for help, Theo's new boyfriend. But as their relationship becomes increasingly complicated, dangerous truths begin to surface. Griffin must make a choice, confront the past or miss out on his future. I actually read this book twice last year. The first time I read it, I picked it up from the library around Easter time, and the second time I read it, it was included in the W.H. Smith Zoella and Friends book club in the summer last year. The first time I read this, I actually gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked the characters and the plot line and the way that it was written, but I didn't love it. I didn't think it was one of my favourites. Then after reading it a second time, I fell completely in love with this story. I absolutely loved the characters. I appreciated Adam Silvera's writing so much more. I thought it was absolutely beautiful, and I just cannot recommend this book enough. So those were the 5 books that I wanted to recommend to you today. If you have read any of those books, then do let me know what you think of them in the comments down below. As I said earlier, I do have some video reviews for some of the books that I have just spoken about, so any of those links will also be in the description box. And if you want to know my thoughts on these books in more detail or any other books that I have read, don't forget to add me as a friend on Goodreads. I'll also leave that link in the description box too. And finally, don't forget to send me your book recommendations as well. I'm always adding to my TBR list, so if you want to send me any recommendations, you can leave them in the comments below, or you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll leave those links below too. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you again next week with another video. Bye!